When using a wrap or sling to carry your baby, it is important to use the following guidelines. Check and follow the manufacturer's instructions to ensure you use the sling correctly. If you bought a second-hand sling, download a copy of the instructions from the internet or ask the manufacturers to send you one. Be aware that some sling demonstrations on social media are untrained influencers and they may not be safe. Make sure any second-hand slings or wraps are in perfect condition and do not use if there are signs of wear and tear. Ensure the sling or wrap is comfortable for each person who uses it. Adjust straps between users if necessary. In cold weather, any additional layers to keep the baby warm should be added outside the carrier so that the straps fit snugly to the baby. Ensure that any layers outside the carrier do not cover the baby's head or face when wearing a baby in a sling or wrap. Never do any activity that you wouldn't do with the baby held in your arms only. Smoking should be avoided for an hour before holding and carrying babies and while holding or carrying them. The adult wearer needs to be alert, feeling well and not distracted. Never sleep while wearing a baby in a sling or carrier. Ensure your baby's sling is hip safe in order to prevent causing hip development problems. You can check for further advice online at the website below. There are some safety guidelines to follow when carrying your baby. This is a TICS guideline, and TICS stands for tight, so you need your baby nice and tight and supported in the carrier. In view, so you should be able to see your baby at all times. Make sure their face is in view and they are not restricted by their clothing, by your clothing, in their face at all. Close enough to kiss, so when you bend and kiss your baby, you should just be able to bow down. If your baby is too close up to your chin or too low down, then you need to adjust baby in the sling. And the other one is to keep your baby's chin off their chest. So there should be at least a 2-finger width between your baby's chest and the bottom of their chin, and that is to allow for your baby's airways to be nice and free. So that's a really important safety measure. And the last one is supported. So your baby should feel supported, and when you lean forward, there shouldn't be any gaps for your baby, and their legs and hips should be supported too. So they should be in a lovely M-shaped position, which supports your baby's hip development. When using a sling, it's important to follow the manufacturer's guidelines to reduce the rare risk of traumatic injury to baby or suffocation. Anyone carrying a baby in a sling should follow the TICS guidelines at all times. If the baby was born prematurely with a low birth weight or has a medical condition, talk to a health professional before using a carrier or sling. They can help you understand how to safely use it. For the wearer, using a sling can lead to back pain. Getting a good one-to-one guidance on how to correctly use the sling might prevent this. If the baby needs to feed, take them out of the sling. Never feed a baby whilst they are inside the sling or wrap. When they have finished feeding, either return them to the sling or put the baby down in a safe space. Another useful tip is when it gets a bit chilly and you want your baby's feet covered, try to not use restrictive clothing around your baby's feet. So if your baby is using a sleep suit, when their legs bend into that M position, it will rise the sleep suit up, and it could risk kind of causing a bit of pain in the ends of your baby's toes if the sleep suit is too tight. So we recommend nice thick leggings and fluffy socks for carrying when it's cold.